Don't go home tonight. The doctor's voice cut through the fluorescent hum of County General's fourth-floor hallway. I froze, my worn purse strap digging into my shoulder. Patel had been my mother's physician for the last 6 months of her life, and now he stood before me, holding a manila folder like it contained a live grenade. I'm Gloria Williams, 62 years old, and until that moment, last Tuesday night, I thought I knew exactly how my mother died. The silver streak at my right temple caught the overhead light as I tilted my head, confused. My short natural hair, the thin gold ring on my left hand that had belonged to my grandmother, the small gold hoop earrings I'd worn to my mother's funeral 2 years ago, all of it felt suddenly costume-like, as if I'd been playing a part in someone else's story. The faint scar above my left eyebrow, a souvenir from a childhood fall, tingled the way it always did when something was wrong. I pulled my charcoal cardigan tighter over my dark dress. What are you talking about? Dr. Patel glanced down the hallway. A nurse pushed a medication cart past us, wheels squeaking against linoleum. He waited until she rounded the corner. I need you to look at something, not here. He gestured toward an empty consultation room. I followed him inside, my heart already racing. The room smelled like industrial cleaner and fear. He closed the door and laid the folder on the small table between us. This is your mother's death certificate, the official one filed with the state 2 years ago. He opened it. I recognized my mother's name, Diane Foster Williams. Date of death, April 3rd. Cause cardiac arrest secondary to congestive heart failure. I'd seen this document before when I settled her estate. Nothing looked different. I said as much. Now look at this. Dr. Patel pulled out a second document, same header, same state seal, same date, but the signature at the bottom was different, and the time of death was off by 6 hours. I found this in a records audit last week. Someone filed 2 death certificates for your mother. This one, he tapped the second document, was signed by a doctor who wasn't on duty that night, Dr. Raymond Chen. He didn't work at County General. He worked at Sacred Heart, across town. I stared at the signature. The ink looked fresh, not 2 years old. My throat felt tight. I don't understand. Neither did I, until I started digging. Dr. Patel's hands shook slightly. Gloria, I need you to listen carefully. The body that was in the morgue the night your mother allegedly died. It was released to Eternal Rest Funeral Home within 4 hours. That's unusually fast. And the funeral director who signed for it? He doesn't exist. I called the funeral home. They have no record of anyone by that name ever working there. The room tilted. I gripped the edge of the table. But I saw her. At the funeral. I saw my mother in that casket. Did you? Dr. Patel's question hung in the air. I thought back to that day. The funeral home had been dim. The lights low for ambience, they'd said. My grandson Malik, only 5 at the time, had whispered to me as we approached the casket, "Grandma, that doesn't look like great-grandma." I'd shushed him, told him people looked different when they were at peace, but he'd insisted, "Her nose is wrong. Children notice things." I'd dismissed it as confusion, as grief. Now I wondered, who did I bury? My voice came out strangled. Dr. Patel shook his head. I don't know, but someone went to a lot of trouble to make you think it was your mother, and here's what worries me most. He pulled out a third sheet of paper. This is a financial record I shouldn't have access to, but a friend in medical billing pulled it for me. Your mother's Medicare account has been active for the past 2 years. Someone has been filing claims under her identity, prescription, refills, doctor visits, physical therapy sessions, all dated after her supposed death. My mind spun. I thought about the house, my mother's house, the 2-bedroom brick home on Oakwood Avenue, where I'd grown up. I'd kept it after she died, couldn't bear to sell it. I went there once a week to check on things, water the plants, collect mail. If she's alive, where is she? Doctor? Patel leaned forward. That's what you need to find out. But Gloria, whoever did this, has resources. They falsified government documents. They have access to medical systems. They've been running this for 2 years without getting caught. That takes money and connections. And it probably involves someone close to you. The word close echoed. I thought of my son Marcus. He'd been helpful after Mom died, maybe too helpful. He'd arranged the funeral, dealt with the paperwork, told me not to worry about the details. You've been through enough, May, he'd said. Let me handle it. I'd been grateful then. Now I felt sick. Why are you telling me this? Dr. Patel met my eyes. Because 3 days ago, someone accessed your mother's medical files. They weren't medical staff. The login was flagged as suspicious, but by the time security checked, whoever it was had logged out. They downloaded everything. Her full history, including the records that show the discrepancies. Someone knows I've been looking into this. And if they're covering their tracks, they might come for anyone who knows the truth. Including me, he nodded. Including you. That's why I said don't go home. I don't know who's involved, but until you do, your house isn't safe. I stood up, legs unsteady. The gold ring on my left hand caught the light. My grandmother's ring, passed to my mother, then to me, 3 generations of Williams women. What am I supposed to do? Dr. Patel handed me a business card. This is a private investigator, former police detective. She specializes in medical fraud and identity theft. Her name is Lynn Vasquez. Call her tonight. Tell her I sent you. She'll know what to do. I took the card, my fingers numb. Why are you helping me? For the first time, Dr. Patel smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes, because I took an oath, and because your mother was kind to me when most patients weren't. She deserves better than this. I left the hospital in a daze. The parking lot was half empty, streetlights buzzing overhead. My car sat in the same spot where I'd left it 2 hours ago, but everything felt different now. I sat in the driver's seat and pulled out my phone. Malik had texted me earlier. Grandma, can we get ice cream this weekend? I stared at the message. My grandson, now 7, perceptive and sweet. He'd known something was wrong at that funeral. Children see clearly. I dialed the number on Lynn Vasquez's card. She answered on the second ring. Vasquez. Her voice was clipped. Professional. Dr. Patel gave me your number. My name is Gloria Williams. I need help. There was a pause. The Diane Williams case. How did she already know? Dr. Patel called me an hour ago. He thought you might reach out. Where are you right now? I told her. Good. Don't go home. Check into a hotel, something with cameras and a staffed front desk. Text me the address. I'll meet you there in 90 minutes. I drove to a Holiday Inn off the highway, paid cash for a room. The clerk barely looked at me. I texted Vasquez the details, then sat on the edge of the bed and let myself shake. My mother might be alive. Someone had faked her death. Someone close to me. The room was generic, beige walls and floral bedspreads, but it felt safer than my own house. I thought about calling Marcus, but Dr. Patel's warning echoed, someone close to you. I couldn't risk it. Not yet. Lynn Vasquez arrived exactly 90 minutes later. She was in her 40s, Latina, with sharp eyes and a no-nonsense demeanor. She carried a leather briefcase and moved like someone who'd spent years expecting trouble. We sat at the small table by the window. She opened her briefcase and pulled out a tablet. Tell me everything. Start from the beginning. I did. The hospital visit. The 2 death certificates. The Medicare fraud. The funeral home. Malik's comment about the body. As I spoke, Vasquez took notes, her stylus flying across the screen. When I finished, she leaned back. Dr. Patel was right to send you to me. This is bigger than a simple identity theft. What do you mean? Vasquez pulled up a document on her tablet. I did some preliminary research after Patel called. Your mother's Medicare account isn't just active, it's been used to bill for services at 3 different facilities. County General, where she was a patient before her supposed death. Sacred Heart, where that fake doctor allegedly worked. And a 3rd location, Riverside Rehabilitation Center. Do you know it? I shook my head. It's a long-term care facility, about 40 miles north of here. High-end, expensive. The kind of place where families park relatives they don't want to deal with. I called them an hour ago, pretended to be updating records. They have a patient named Diane Williams. Admitted 2 years ago, paid in full private account. My heart stopped. She's there? My mother is alive and in a nursing home. Vasquez held up a hand. I don't know for sure. The name matches, the age matches, but I couldn't get more without raising flags. If it is your mother, someone has been paying to keep her there and keep her hidden. That's not cheap. We're talking 60 to 80,000 a year, minimum. Who benefits from your mother being legally dead but physically alive? I thought hard. Her house. It was paid off. When she died, it passed to me through her will. Marcus wanted me to sell it, said I didn't need the upkeep, but I refused. What's the house worth? Vasquez asked. Last appraisal was $350,000. It's in a neighborhood that's been gentrifying. Developers have been sniffing around. Vasquez typed something into her tablet. There's your motive. If your mother is legally dead, her estate is settled. The house is yours. But if someone wanted that property and couldn't get it from you directly, they'd need leverage, or they'd need you out of the picture too. The words chilled me. You think Marcus is involved? Vasquez met my gaze. I think we need to find out who's been paying for Riverside. That's our next step. Tomorrow morning I'll go there in person. I have a cover story ready. State auditor, routine inspection. If Diane Williams is there, I'll confirm it. But Gloria, you need to prepare yourself. If your mother has been alive this whole time and never reached out to you, there's a reason. Either she can't, or she chose not to. I hadn't considered the second option. The thought hurt worse than anything. Why wouldn't she contact me? Vasquez's expression softened. Could be a lot of reasons. Maybe she's incapacitated. Maybe she was threatened. Maybe she made a deal to protect you. We won't know until we talk to her. I nodded, but the room felt too small. What do I do tonight? Vasquez stood. You stay here. Order room service, keep the door locked, don't answer for anyone but me. I'll text you updates. And Gloria, don't contact your son. Not yet. If he is involved, we don't want to spook him. After Vasquez left, I sat in the dim hotel room and tried to process everything. My mother, possibly alive. My son, possibly a criminal. 2 years of grief, possibly a lie. I pulled out my phone and looked at photos. There was one from the funeral. Marcus standing beside the casket, his face solemn. I zoomed in on the casket. The body inside wore my mother's favorite blue dress, the one I'd picked out. But Malik had been right. The nose was wrong, the cheekbones too sharp. I'd been so consumed by grief, I hadn't really looked. I thought about the last real conversation I'd had with my mother, the day before she supposedly died. She'd called me, sounded tired. Gloria, baby, I need to tell you something. But then she'd coughed, said she'd call back later. She never did. The next day, Marcus called to tell me she'd passed in her sleep. I didn't sleep that night. At 6 a.m., my phone buzzed. Vasquez, confirmed. Diane Williams is at Riverside. I saw her. It's your mother. She's alive. I read the message 3 times. My hands shook so hard, I nearly dropped the phone. I called Vasquez immediately. You're sure? Her voice was steady. I'm sure. She's in a private room, 2nd floor. Memory care unit. The staff thinks she has advanced dementia. She doesn't speak much, doesn't recognize visitors. But Gloria, she recognized your name. When I mentioned you, her eyes focused. She tried to say something. What did she say? There was a pause. It sounded like safe. She said Gloria, safe. Then she got agitated, and a nurse sedated her. Tears streamed down my face. My mother was alive. She'd been locked away for 2 years, and somewhere in her mind, she was worried about me. I need to see her. Vasquez hesitated. Not yet. If we go in without a plan, whoever put her there will know we're on to them. We need proof first. I'm going back tonight with a camera. I'll document everything. Her condition, the room, the staff. Then we go to the police, with evidence they can't ignore. Can you wait 1 more day? I wanted to scream. No. I wanted to drive to Riverside and break down the doors. But I understood strategy. I'd waited 2 years believing a lie. I could wait 1 more day for the truth. Okay, but I'm coming with you tonight. Vasquez started to protest, then stopped. All right, but we do this carefully. Meet me here at 8 p.m. She gave me an address, a diner halfway between the hotel and Riverside. And Gloria, we need to talk about who's been paying for this. I pulled financial records. The payments to Riverside come from an LLC registered in Delaware. Guess who's listed as the managing member? I already knew. Marcus. The word tasted like ash. Your son has been funneling money to keep your mother locked up, and I found something else. 3 months ago, he filed a petition to have you declared mentally incompetent. It was denied because you didn't show any signs of diminished capacity, but he tried. If he'd succeeded, he would have gotten control of your finances and your mother's house. I felt like I'd been punched. My son. my only child. The boy I'd raised alone after his father left. The man I'd trusted with everything. Why? Money? Greed? Maybe something else. We'll find out. Vasquez's voice hardened. But right now, he doesn't know we know. That's our advantage. Keep it that way. I spent the day in a haze. I ordered breakfast, didn't eat it. I turned on the TV, didn't watch it. At noon, my phone rang. Marcus. I stared at his name on the screen, my heart pounding. Vasquez had said, don't contact him. But if I ignored his calls, he'd get suspicious. I answered, hey Ma, just checking in. You doing okay? His voice sounded normal, warm, concerned. I wanted to scream at him, demand answers. Instead, I kept my voice steady. I'm fine, baby, just a little tired. You sure? You sound off. How many times had he used concern to manipulate me? I'm sure, just didn't sleep well. There was a pause. Listen, I wanted to talk to you about something. That house of Grandma's. I know you want to keep it, but Ma, it's a lot of upkeep. I found a buyer willing to pay $400,000 cash. We could split it. You'd be set. $400,000, $50,000 more than the appraisal. Someone wanted that house badly. I'll think about it, I said. Don't take too long, offer's only good for 2 weeks. After we hung up, I texted Vasquez. Marcus just called, pushing me to sell the house. Offered $400K. Her response came quickly. Figured he needs that sale to happen before anyone finds out about your mother. Stay strong. See you tonight. At 8 p.m., I met Vasquez at the diner. She had a camera bag and a grim expression. I scouted the facility this afternoon. Security is light. Visiting hours end at 9, but the memory care unit has a side entrance for staff. We can get in there. We drove to Riverside in Vasquez's car. The facility looked like a resort. Manicured lawns, a fountain, soft lighting. It made me sick to think of my mother imprisoned here. We parked in a side lot and waited until full dark. At 9:30, Vasquez led me to the staff entrance. She picked the lock in under a minute. Misspent youth, she murmured. Inside, the hallway was quiet. Soft music played from hidden speakers. We moved quickly. Vasquez checking room numbers. She's in 214. Second door on the left. We reached the door, through the small window. I saw her. My mother, she sat in a chair by the window, staring out at nothing. She looked smaller than I remembered. Frailer. But it was her. The shape of her shoulders. The way she tilted her head. I pushed the door open. The hinges squeaked. My mother turned. For a moment our eyes met. I saw confusion, then a flicker of recognition. Gloria. Her voice was hoarse, unused. I crossed the room and knelt beside her chair. Mama, it's me. I'm here. Tears filled her eyes. She reached out with a trembling hand and touched my face, tracing the scar above my left eyebrow. My baby. My Gloria. Her words were slow, slurred. They said you were in danger, said if I contacted you, they'd hurt you. I had to stay. Had to stay quiet. Vasquez was filming everything, her camera capturing every word. I held my mother's hand, the thin gold ring on my left hand pressing against her papery skin. Who said that, Mama? Who put you here? She closed her eyes. Marcus. And someone else. A man. I don't remember his name. They came to the hospital, said I had to disappear, said you'd inherited too much, made enemies, said this was the only way to keep you safe. I wanted to believe my son had good intentions, but the facts didn't support it. Mama, you're not safe here, and neither am I. We're getting you out. She gripped my hand with surprising strength. No, they'll know. They have people watching. They'll hurt you. Vasquez stepped forward. Mrs. Williams, we have evidence of fraud and false imprisonment. The police will protect Gloria, but we need you to testify. Can you do that? My mother looked at her, then back at me. Will you be safe? I nodded, not sure if it was true. I will, I promise. A noise in the hallway made us freeze. Footsteps, coming closer. Vasquez swore under her breath. Security, we need to go. But it was too late. The door opened. A man in scrubs stood there, but his eyes were too alert, his stance too aggressive, not a nurse. He pulled out a phone. They're here, room 214. Vasquez moved fast. She grabbed the man's arm and twisted. The phone clattered to the floor. "Go!" she shouted at me. "Get your mother out of here." I pulled my mother to her feet. She was unsteady, but adrenaline pushed us forward. We stumbled into the hallway. An alarm blared. More footsteps, running. Vasquez was behind us, holding the man off. Side entrance. Go. I didn't know where I was going. The hallways blurred. My mother's weight against me, her breathing ragged. Then I saw it. The exit sign, glowing green. I shouldered through the door. Cool night air hit us. Vasquez's car was 50 feet away. I half carried, half dragged my mother across the parking lot. Behind us, the door burst open. 2 men in suits, not scrubs, not medical staff. I fumbled for the car door. Locked. Vasquez, she appeared, running flat out. She clicked the key fob. The car beeped. I shoved my mother into the back seat and threw myself in after her. Vasquez dove into the driver's seat. The engine roared to life. The men were 10 feet away. One reached for the door handle. Vasquez floored it. The car lurched forward. I heard a thud, someone's hand hitting the trunk. Then we were on the road, tires squealing. Vasquez drove like she'd done this before, taking turns at speed, checking the rear view constantly. Anyone following? I looked back. Headlights, distant, but coming closer. Yes, Vasquez cursed. She pulled out her phone, tossed it to me. Call 911. Tell them we're being pursued, and we have an endangered witness. Give them our location. I made the call. The dispatcher sounded skeptical until I said the words kidnapping and false death certificate. Then her tone changed. Units are en route. Stay on the line. Vasquez took another turn, this time onto a busy street. Traffic, witnesses. The headlights behind us fell back. She headed toward the police station, narrating our route to the dispatcher. My mother lay against me, breathing hard. I stroked her hair. We're almost safe, Mama. Almost there. 10 minutes later, we pulled into the station parking lot. Squad cars surrounded us immediately. Officers approached with hands on their weapons. Vasquez held up her PI license. Lynn Vasquez. I called this in. We have a victim of false imprisonment and identity fraud. The next hours were a blur of statements and questions. My mother was taken to the hospital for evaluation. I stayed with her while Vasquez coordinated with the police. Detectives arrived. They listened to our story with skepticism until Vasquez showed them the video, the death certificates, the financial records. Then their expressions changed. They issued a warrant for Marcus. They sent units to Riverside to secure evidence. By dawn, it was all over the news. Woman declared dead 2 years ago, found alive in nursing home. Son arrested in fraud scheme. Marcus was picked up at his house. He didn't resist. In his safe, police found documents, contracts with a real estate developer, plans to demolish my mother's house and build condos, projected profits in the millions. He'd needed both my mother and me out of the way. The fake death had been step 1. The incompetency petition had been step 2. If that had failed, I don't know what step 3 would have been. I don't let myself think about it. My mother spent 2 weeks in the hospital. The sedatives they'd given her at Riverside had done damage, but she was recovering. Her memory was intact, her spirit bruised but unbroken. "I'm so sorry, Gloria," she said one afternoon. We were sitting in her hospital room, sunlight streaming through the window. "I believed them when they said you were in danger. I thought I was protecting you." I held her hand. "You did protect me. You survived. That's what matters." The trial took 6 months. Marcus pleaded guilty to fraud, false imprisonment, and conspiracy. He got 12 years. The real estate developer, a man named Hendricks, got 10. The funeral director, who'd helped fake the death, the doctor who'd signed the false certificate, the staff at Riverside who'd kept my mother sedated, they all faced charges. Justice was slow, but it came. My mother moved back into her house on Oakwood Avenue. I visit her every day now. We have coffee on the porch and watch the neighborhood kids play. Malik comes over on weekends. He sits with his great-grandmother and they do puzzles. "I knew something was wrong," he tells her. "At the funeral, you didn't look right." She smiles at him. "You were always the smart one." As for me, I wear my charcoal cardigan and my grandmother's gold ring, and I carry the knowledge that I almost lost everything because I trusted the wrong person. But I also carry this. I fought back. I found the truth. I saved my mother. The scar above my left eyebrow catches the light sometimes, and I remember that night in the hospital when Dr. Patel handed me that folder and everything changed. Don't go home, he'd said. I didn't. I went forward instead, and I brought my mother with me.